Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to show you how you can make your own terrain in Unity. It's actually very simple. So first of all, let's go ahead and open the package manager. I just downloaded this terrain textures pack and this low poly simple nature pack. So let's import them. Now we have both of them imported and we can start doing our terrain. Let's just wait one more second. Okay, so first of all, we can disable this plane and this character for a while. And let's create a 3D object, terrain. So as you can see, we have something like a plane, but it's actually way bigger than a plane, so I think 1,000 times bigger. And there are multiple things that you can do. So first of all, here you can select this, and just by clicking you can create new terrains, but we just want to work on one of them right now. So we could also delete this terrain data, and let's continue. So first of all, we can paint texture, so just set this to raise or lower terrain, and let's start with this. So here we have multiple brushes. Let's make the size bigger, and what this does is if you click, it's going to raise the terrain, so the opacity needs to be higher to actually see it. So now you can see that it's making the terrain higher. You can make the brush size smaller to do like a smaller area. And let's zoom in a bit. So this is how the brush size and opacity works. And there are multiple brushes as well. So you can see with this one, it's like either black or white, so it's not really smooth. But this one has like more gray in between, so this is going to make it more smoothly. And this one, so you can see that it's like more pointy on the top, so in the middle it's more pointy, and like anywhere else it doesn't make much of a difference. So every brush has like a different shape, and you can also do your own brushes. So like this one, star, and you could also, for example, select this brush, and if you click shift, so hold shift and click, it's going to lower the terrain. And let's get to the next one. It's painting holes. This one's really simple. Just so the brushes and the opacity is like the same. You just click and it makes a hole, and you hold shift and then click again and it fills the holes. So there's not much to it, and so if you want to make something like caves, you can use that, but other than that it's not really helpful. The next one is set height. So this one, for example, this is like the same as lowering or raising the terrain, but it has a limit. As you can see, it has a limit on 50. We can change this to 20, for example, and now it lowers the terrain to make it 20. this is also helpful in some cases. For example, you can do shapes like this, where you have like a mountain and a smaller mountain next to it. And let's get to the next one. So this is smooth height, and here it's just like how it says, so you make it more smooth. The brush size and opacity works the same way, and that's everything there is to the smoothing tool. And I actually think this is really helpful as well. So let's get to the next one, and this is stamp terrain. So this is just like raising the terrain, but it's more significant, as you can see. So it just raises the entire thing like a whole lot. And you can also do it with shift, so it lowers the terrain. And now let's start with painting the texture. So in our imported packs we have these layers, so grass layers, ground layers. So we want to click the terrain and then select paint texture, and we can here edit terrain layers and add layers. So it just shows us which ones we can select. Let's just do all, add all of them. And one more. So as you can see, it automatically painted the first one. So if you want to have like a default ground, just select it at first and then you can paint on it. So let's select this one for example, and we can see that we can paint the texture on top of it. And here the brush size and opacity works the same way. So if you reduce the opacity, it's not going to be that significant. So I'm just clicking right now. It may be hard to see it for you. So if we make the opacity higher, you can see that it's changing. So that's how it works. And we can do stuff like roads, for example, to reduce the brush size. And here we can paint roads. And this stuff, you don't really need to know that if you are using the texture from like an asset, but if you're doing your textures yourself, you may want to look at these settings as well. And let's get to the next one. So we are done with this part, and we can go to painting trees. So here we have the simple nature pack, and in our prefabs we have the trees here, 5 of them. So just like we did with the textures, add tree, and you can just drag that in here and do it with multiple trees as well. So for now let's just do 3 of them. I think that's enough. So brush size is the same, and tree density is, for example, when you, so let's make the tree density higher, and if you click, it's going to have more trees, and if you reduce this, it's going to paint less. So I don't know why it's not like this right now. So I think it's more, I think we can see it better when we have a bigger brush size. So that's the trees we have painted with 100 tree density. Let's go over to here. it again. And it actually looks a bit similar, but there's a difference. It's just a bit hard to tell. So let's get back to here again and look at how we can change these settings. So the tree height is random right now. If you don't make it random, it's going to be the same height for everyone, so for every tree. But if you make it random, you can select like which borders there are. So the smallest tree can be like this tall, and the biggest tree can be around here. And lock width to height, what that's gonna do is, if you have a tree, so for example, let's say it's 3 meters long, or no, 3 meter high and 1 meter wide. If we change the height to like twice the value, the width is going to be twice the value as well. So we can, if you want to have more variety, we can do random tree width as well. This works the same way. So we have more variety right now. As you can see, there are thinner trees and there are more wider trees. Random tree rotation, I think you can check this at all times, because if you don't, it just looks the same. So they're all facing the same direction and it doesn't look really good. So I just check this always. Color variation doesn't really matter, and we can start painting details. So if you have things like grass or flowers, you don't really want to do them one by one, so you want to have more of them, and that's why you use details for that. So we can add details. We want to add a mesh, and here drag, for example, this flower. It says LOD group component is not supported, so this is because of our asset. Just go ahead and delete this LOD group, but we want to give it this mesh, so let's just copy this and paste component as new, and do it with the mesh renderer as well. So details can't have LODs, that's why it doesn't work. And now I think we can do it. Let's try it again. Yes, now that it's working, we can now paint it. So here we again have opacity, brush size. Let's see how it looks. So they have random rotation. I think that's like default. You can't really edit this, so you can make them face the same direction, but we can try to. So here you can see it better than with the trees. Okay, and there are actually some settings as well, but they are not really that important. For example, there are wind settings or tree details and something like that. But the main thing you need to know is painting texture, painting trees, and raising or lowering the terrain. So that's it for the video. In the next one, we can look at how we can make procedural terrain generation. And if you want to stay updated, subscribe to the channel and wait for the new videos.